even a single shot on target, Owen.
Yeah, they didn't create much from open play. Only really the one shot on target. Yeah, he obviously had a game plan. You know, he wanted to play some longer balls, some more direct passes. Obviously, Harry Maguire came on at the end to hope maybe they could nick something, but they didn't really create anything else. I thought the first half they played really well. I think if they would have continued on, they probably would have gone on and scored another. Look, it's a tough place to go. They kept a clean sheet. They wanted 2 goals. Obviously, the reason they're in this position because of the ridiculous penalty from the first game. But yeah, I thought the first half was great. Second half didn't really go to plan, I think, from what Erik ten Hag envisioned.
Okay, well, it down from the Champions League. More to come on that. We'll get the thoughts of... We go to goal difference to determine top spot, and as you can see, Real Sociedad are ahead by 1 goal, so they win the group and automatically qualify for the round of 16 playoff round. And this is who they could face next. It's going to be one of the teams that finished 3rd place in the Champions League. It makes for exciting games to come for Manchester United, up against one of these lot: Ajax, Leverkusen, Barcelona, Sporting, Salzburg, Shakhtar Donetsk, Sevilla.
Today was winning the game by 2 goal difference. We knew that we need that. I think we did a great game. We tried everything. At the end, we take a little bit more risks because was needed to score the second goal. But we won the game. It's a great win against a tough opponent. Obviously, as I said before, is not the top of the group. That was our goal for before the game. But he's always. I play wherever the coach needs me to play. Obviously, it's not my position, but I try my best to help the team, to be involved in the way that I can be helpful for the team. He was good, but he knows that we expect a lot from him. Obviously, still really young. He's doing really well. He had the beginning of the season not at his best. It's the best attitude that he should have, and now he's getting his chances because he's training better. He's having a different attitude, and he's deserving his chances. So as I said, our main goal was to go first, so we could avoid that. Now we have to play against one of them, but that's no problem for us if we want to win the competition. So we have to find good teams and in any moment of the competition. So as soon or later we'll be ready for that.
What do you make of what he said about Garnacho there and his problems with his attitude? So
he was obviously a little bit big for his boots. In the summer, he's kind of saying maybe a little bit above his station. I think he did go with Argentina in the summer, playing with Messi. So maybe he thought he's coming back and this is me, I'm part of this team. But he's a young lad, he's going to learn. It's obviously his attitude has changed, and we're seeing the benefits of that. He looks a really top-class young player, so a long way to go. He's 18 years of age, was really good last week in the home game, and scored a really good goal tonight. So, look, there was clearly an attitude problem, but it seems like he's got over it.
The manager coming in.
He's playing for his country as well, so Scholes is right. I think a young player, especially a talented one like that, they always think they're ready. They always want to play. It doesn't matter who's in front of them. Probably sometimes it can rub the older players the wrong way. But we can go off the evidence that we see when he plays. He's played twice. He's been amazing. So credit to him. You get an opportunity as a young kid at 18 to step up. In the 2 games we've seen, he's been the difference maker. So, I'm proud of him. When you step on that stage as a young guy, with the young guys, you never know. It's sink or swim. And so far, he's done a great job.
There's comments on playing out of position tonight.
I think he answered the question well. He did a job for his team, which I think he's that type of player. Right? But it's the last place he'll want to be. When you're a central player playing in the middle of the pitch, look, I've experienced it. Playing out wide is not where you want to be. You just see it as you're running up and down all the time. You can't really get involved in the play. And that was obvious tonight because he rarely created, rarely on the ball, and it's a difficult position when you're a central player.
Okay.
Get a little bit of trouble,
and a brilliant debut goal from Garnacho, and at this point the game seemed to be in control.
The full first half, 1-0 away from home in Europe against a Spanish team is a really good result. Unfortunately, we know we needed the two we'd hoped it would have been.
He was a bright, wasn't he, Garnacho? But why couldn't Manchester United be more effective going forward through him in that first half? And
first of all, I mean, that's in this competition they're the best defence so far. Only 1 goal conceded, and they only conceded 2 in the whole competition, which is a joint best. So I think maybe Erik ten Hag thought defensively they're a really good side. Maybe we'll play a little bit longer.
For the game, Erik ten Hag, that he needed to try a different approach. Were dealing with those long balls.
I'll take a defender off in Lindelof. I'll bring in Scott McTominay. I'll take a midfielder off in Van der Beek and bring on an attacker in Marcus Rashford. So in essence, you could say they're both positive changes because he wanted a goal. He went from a back 4 to a back 3. But they didn't really, felt like the rhythm kind of went. Everybody was in a slightly different position. Some long balls in, get the ball in the box. But Scholes is right. Real Sociedad defended the box really well. We can see why they've conceded the fewest goals in the competition. And it just fizzled out. We felt like...
OK, well, let's get the thoughts of the Manchester United manager.
Not quite enough to achieve the task you wanted tonight. How do you...
Always get what you deserve. So is football. Penalty. What isn't the penalty? Today we win. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with some other things like the performance from Garnacho. Donny back in the team. I think we make a really good goal with Canada win from today, but of course we are disappointed. We didn't score 2 goals because that is what we needed.
Headache going forward?
Need options, and we have problems there. Anthony not available, Anthony Martial not available, Jadon Sancho not available. So it's thin, but I'm really happy with the performance, and I hope he can keep the process going. If he can't keep this going, I'm really happy.
Was somebody much older than his years, perhaps, of his goal? Yeah. Was that of somebody much older than his years?
That is definitely it. I think it was a great attack over David de Gea, Bruno, Ronnie, and then the switch of play, and then the great finish was really enjoyable. Offensive players in, but I think we were a little bit too rash, too erratic. Work that good on the ball anymore, and so we bring less balls in the box. And when you do this, you need come in the box. But that was the idea. We have to take risk. That is what we did, and then keep the clean sheet very well.
The momentum carries on because you are 9 unbeaten now. So is it?
Of course, we are disappointed. We won't always be number 1, and when we aren't, we are disappointed. But
risks, but he said at times it was too rash, too erratic. When you're forcing it like that, sometimes, Paul, in a game, can it?
I've just looked a bit messy. That there was no real plan. It was just a launch up front and see if we can get onto second balls. It was a little bit League 1, League 2-ish for me. Being a little bit disrespectful to them. A bit better than that. Yeah, look, there were positive substitutions. Don't get me wrong. Bringing a centre half off is positive for a midfield player. Bringing Marcus on for Donny van der Beek is positive. I just don't think Marcus was in the right position. Right hand side, could have swapped with easily right hand side. Do you know what? He probably knows he's going to be, and we all know he's going to be, but he's doing the job for the team, probably defensively. Bring him into the middle of the pitch, let Marcus go out wide. It makes you wonder, probably Marcus is carrying something. He probably didn't want him to stretch his legs down the outside, where Marcus is most dangerous. Once it's into the middle of the pitch, Marcus has to take a touch, beat a man, beat 2 men. He's capable, but it's not his best position. Get him a little bit better shape.
He talked with difficult games coming up. Aston Villa twice on the way, Fulham before the World Cup break, and that's why he didn't start Marcus Rashford. That's what.
No, because you look at the injuries. Obviously, Anthony's not playing. Anthony Martial is out. Jadon Sancho's out. I don't think you could afford to lose Marcus. If maybe there is a little bit of something there, you have to be careful. So I can understand why he did it. And he kept saying yesterday and he said today before the game, he had a plan. And I think that plan was to keep it as it was and maybe Marcus come in the game and get the second goal. He tried, the plan was there. It just didn't materialise. But I just think United are in a good way. To go, Scholes, you mentioned, you go there and you win, you keep a clean sheet. Martinez looked fantastic again today. David made some big save. Casemiro looked great again. Dalot looked good in a back 3 as well. Luke Shaw, I thought, played fantastic. So there's a lot of positives. They just didn't really create enough going forward like you probably would have anticipated. But Garnacho, again, was fantastic.
Knockout playoff round to play in February. 2 matches to play on the 16th and the 23rd. Because Manchester United are seeded, look at the teams that they could face. And the draw is coming up on Monday. So Man United will find out their fate then. There's some big...
I loved him to drive. I've said it a few times. I'd love to play against Barca. Just gets the juices flowing. On the other hand, are a really good team. We know that. They're probably the only one who I think you would probably want to avoid as much as I want to play against them. Do you know, I've just got a feeling they're going to get Ajax.
Well,
Like Scholes, I hope they avoid Barca. Get Barca in the final. Don't want to play Barca because that could be a really hard game. But they're all really good sides, good footballing sides with good managers in Tottenham's group. So no easy ones. Made it a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. But in the end, I think they're favourite regardless who they play outside of Barca.
do you?
Yeah, along with Barcelona, as I keep saying. I think them other teams, United are more than capable of beating them. Sevilla have a great experience. Juventus, obviously, a big club, but struggling. I'd fancy them to beat the rest of them. Barcelona, again, will be tricky, but I'd like to see that game.
Okay, well...